Hi, my name is Prevention, and we are four, and this is my members, Alan, Timothy, and Jasmine, and we will now give an introduction of the TJ Park, and while I'm giving introduction, we'll be walking through the park, so remember to catch up. And so back to the here now we're standing, as people know, it's the TGA Peace Park, but at the time it was nothing but a wasteland with a special feature, the Tinhou Temple. And during the Japanese colonial period,
真的吗？
they established this park, an urban park in 1899, and they called it the Taihoku New Park. Taihoku means Taipei in Japanese. The reason it's called a new park is because it was established after the time the Yunsan Park was constructed, which is in 1897. So the authorities named it as the new park. And remember I mentioned the Tinhou Temple in this park? Yes, and it was there, but we can't see it now. The Tinhou Temple was covered in the northern side of this land, and the park at the time was at the southern part. So in 1913, the Japanese they established an urban planning division, which is to urbanize lots of locations in Taiwan. So they removed the Tinhou Temple, and at the close location, they established the Memorial Hall to commemorate the officers and the governor at the time, and which is now we have the National Taiwan Museum. So during the Japanese colonial period, the park was close to Taiwan governor's office and a lot of administration office. So, plus there were a lot of local Japanese who lived around here. So at the time, there were a lot of political parties or activities held in this very park. And now we're going to go deep into the 228 incident. And now, please let Timothy. Hello, everyone. Morning. Can you hear me? Can everybody hear me clearly? Yes. Please stand forward to the shade. And after the introduction of the 228 Memorial Park, I may wonder that what exactly happened in the 228 incident and why should we commemorate it? So, as you see in the far away, this is a 228 Memorial Monument, and the next docent will tell you about the details of the monument. And in my part, I'm going to show you around the park and tell you the whole story of the 228 incident. So please follow me in this way. So, as we all know, Japan failed in World War II, and Taiwan returned back to Chinese authorities. So please go forward, and I'm going to talk about the story in the way. Everybody catch up? So as we all know, Japan failed in World War II, and Taiwan was returned back to China to authorities after the colonial times for 50 years. And the Taiwanese initially welcomed the Chinese administrations and the nationalist forces, but they dropped into sorrow and anger very soon because they found the Chinese administrations are corrupt and repressive. And the Chinese authorities also were dissatisfied with the Taiwanese because the Taiwanese, the behaviors are same as the Japanese behaviors. So the conflict between the Chinese new authorities and the local Taiwanese gradually grow sharp. And in the February of the 28th in 1947, a woman who sold cigarettes without a license was beat heavily by a KMT investigator. And the investigator shoot to kill the innocent people. And it leads to a large scale of public protest. And the uprising was spread quickly to the whole Taipei and Taiwan. So now we are standing out under the 228 Memorial Monument, and we are going to the 228 Memorial Museum afterwards and to talk about the things after, to talk about later about it. So just follow me in this word.
超级！为什么今天这么多在走路的？之前感觉没那么多走路的。有吗？我觉得今天人比较少哎。我是说，就是导览部分，以前有那么多组一直走吗？我记得以前根本就定点站就不动了。因为那次下雨啊。
And also control some infection spots. And we are going to the 228 Memorial Museum. And it also was an important spot at that time. Right here.
你用之前要先特别说，那个
And as you see, the yellow building here is the 228 Memorial Museum nowadays, but it was once the Taiwan radio station, And in 228 accident, the local Taiwanese were gathered here and occupied it to announce their demands. But however, the Cheng Yi, the chief executive, didn't respond to and meet their demands. By contrast, he asked for troops from the China mainland to Chiang Kai-shek, and Chiang sent troops to Taiwan, and they cracked it down on the protesters brutally. More than 10,000 of people died in the massacre, and others were imprisoned, especially the Taiwan elites, including scholars, lawyers, doctors, or teachers. So, it leads. So after 2 years. Afterwards, the Taiwanese were not able to express and argue for their rights freely anymore. So after 2 years, in the 1949, the KMT failed in the Civil War and retreated to Taiwan. And when KMT retreated to Taiwan, the Taiwan was placed under the martial law from that time until 1987. And this era is now called the White Terror era. And so that means the 228 incident is the prelude of the White Terror era. So that's all for my introduction. And the next docent will tell you about when the government decided to re-evaluate the 228 incident and the anecdotes behind the 228 Memorial Monument. Thank you.
Okay, hi, I'm Alan. Can you hear me? Okay, how. Hi, and I want to talk about the starting of the 228 monument. Let's come back to the monument. The master of the town in 1997 and 1988. So everyone started using the monument, particularly and they built a monument to memorize the history in
这里吧，要不然就这里。
然后在那个龙珠，好，还有。This is a monument. It was built in 1995, but its inscription was added in 1997. That's because the initial version of the inscription was written by the people. Some people thought that it was the next time. In 1997, another version written by and the descendant was accepted by public, so the monument finally has its inscription. The reason why the monument appears here is because this place is the center of many history, which was the Tang dynasty or the many economy of Britain, such as Southgate and so on. Okay, let's introduce slowly about the designer of the monument, Henry Tai. He designed the blueprint of this monument in the prison. So he tried to assassinate Jiang Jingguo in 1970, and then he failed, right? So, but his design was accepted by government. So that sounds weird, but kind of interesting. Okay, now I want to introduce the design of the monument. At the top of the monument, everyone can come closer to see the picture. Yeah. Okay. Okay. At the top of the monument, you can see a design like a lightning rod, right? This concept originated from the Klan in Xilong, which means the truth into the incident language in Xilong. Under the lightning rod, you can see two abacus balls. No matter how you calculate 2 plus 2 or 2 multiple 2, the answer will never equal to 8. It means human make mistakes, and that means the future incident is a tragedy caused by humans. And then you can see many truths here, right? There's only truth here in nature. This truth means the nature order has been broken by humans. Therefore, we should restore the harmony of nature by eliminating the conflict between different ethnic groups. Yeah, next. Then you can see many black balls on the floor. These black balls represent the backdrop of this fiction into the incident. And next. When you want to enter a monument, you should know one thing. The flag on the pole has two colors on each side, which means yin and yang, yin yang. And when you want to enter the monument, you walk on the inside, which means you are entering the real world. When you want to leave, you should walk on the yang side, which means you come back to the real world. Okay, next. Then, when you enter the monument, you can see the urn in the center of the monument. This urn means we select the ashes of victims, then bury it to make them less easy. Then you can see many handprints on the building. These handprints have two meanings. First, it means that the victim's family or the descendants feel the condolence on the death of victim. Second, it was designed for visitors to put their hands on the building, then show their condolence to the dead. Okay, that's all the introduction of the Grand Monument. Next, our partner Jasmine will talk about another topic of the Park.